Hey everyone, this is Knogat, and today I wanted to bring you a budget guide for Elfnote. Now, note that this will be budget in the sense of, I assume you already have your Elfnote core. If you don't have 3 Lucina, this is probably not going to be the right video, but I can recommend you Atrocity. They are working on budget decks, super budget decks for Blazing Dominion. I'm going to link the channel down below. But this is for the people who asked me, hey, they don't want to buy Harmonia and like they only want one Regina. And this video is for them. So what you see on the screen here is my current Albaz Elfnote list. So feel free to just screenshot it, copy it with Harmonia. And here there are some couple cards that are money. So we have these, of course, we have the Albaz engine, which is money, and you have Medius. And I believe for the main deck, that is it. And for the extra deck, it is the Ecclesia that costs money. So if you have Elfnotes and if you already have Albaz, you can simply go and cut the Harmonia and put in whatever non-engine you like. So you can cut these and just go with Impermanence. Impermanence is a decent card. You can play that or whatever suits your local metagame. What I like to do is I'm a big fan of Fenrir. So 2 Fenrir is probably fine. You can play 3 if you want, or you can go 2 Fenrir and up the Fawn and the Virtuous. And Fenrir actually is not a immediate downgrade to Harmonia. You can't play both at the same time, of course, because Harmonia specializes itself, and then you can summon Fenrir. But Fenrir is pretty good because against Cool Tune, what you want to do is you want, like, if you just hand trap them a bit, it's mostly not going to be enough. But what you want to do is you have like good pushes yourself, and Fenrir is actually awkward for them. Like they have a clean out, which is using Cool Tune Synchro Mix, and then pop it. But that trades 1-for-1 with your Fenrir with a Cool Tune Synchro, which can be fine in certain situations, right? Because Cool Tune Synchro usually can do a bit more than that. They can't really remix out this, so if they go remix, tribute it, do a Synchro, before they pop your Fenrir will trigger and banish something face down. So it's a lot of pressure. Plus, if you go first, summon the Fenrir, and they summon like Q, you can banish whatever they summon or the Q, and then whatever body annoys you the most. So a big fan of Fenrir. Fenrir also as a level 7 works well with the Elfnote Power Patron. So that is if you already have your Albaz and Elfnote engine. But of course, this is still a very expensive deck. So let's hop into the next list. This is Elfnote Power Patron, a very basic list without Harmonia. Some of you have already asked, how does an Elfnote Power Patron list look like? This is a very basic list with just the Pendulum Treasure and the Nervado. There's still a lot to be discovered and to move around here, but this just gives you a good push that is still part of the engine. So what Nervado does is, in the scale, the effect is mostly not that relevant. It's a negate if they react to a Power Patron or Archmage monster, but Nervado is an Archmage monster, and if it's placed on the extra deck face down, and the extra deck face up, then you can summon a Power Patron from your deck. And if it's on the field, you can, just like all the Power Patrons, you can banish the top 3 cards of your deck face down, destroy it, and then special summon the counterpart. In this case, it would be Nerva. So what does that do for us? Nervado can, going first, either summon you Elfnote Power Patron to get access to that from your deck, if you somehow scale it, which Pendulum Treasure does. Or going second, you can send it with Terminus, get it on the field, and then use it to make Nerva. And Nerva has the effect that, so what happens is, this destroys itself, summon Nerva, and then it tries to trigger in the extra deck. And Nerva says, when Archmage monster effect is activated, you can change the effect to destroy all cards your opponent controls. So they have to interact with this somehow, otherwise this will destroy their board. But if they interact with it, then it won't change the effect, and it will resolve, and you summon from your deck a Junordo or an Elfnote Power Patron. Junordo could make the Junora, which on summon negates the whole board, and also then it grabs you a Elfnote or Power Patron card back because it destroys itself. Or you just summon the Elfnote Power Patron, and then you have a 1 and a 10, and you can make Psychic and Punisher, and that is a pretty good card. Going second, plus you get a search of the Elfnote Power Patron to push further. So a lot of things that this little card does. So if you asked why I like the Patron version that much, is because it just gives you more pushes while being in the engine, and that's why I like it a lot. I would like to play just pure Elfnote, but I think just a little bit extra push is good. So this, of course, can run Harmonia, but it's a budget version. Another thing in the deck that costs money here is Meteos. I think it's the Meteos and Regina and Lucina are the only card that are money in the main deck, but one Regina is non-negotiable, so is the playset of Lucina. But Meteos you can actually cut. There are lines without it. And what you can play instead is either just another Welcome Home as a starter, or if you want to go harder on the Power Patron engine, you can play a Zigrido. This is the worst one of all these because it doesn't really do anything. It has to pop a Power Patron or Doomsday Monster, and you don't really want to do that. But it does give you the line of Pendulum Treasure, put the Zigrido on the extra deck, that searches you the Terminus, and then you just have normal Terminus combo. So you have 5 copies of Terminus, or if you draw both, you can Terminus for that line and Treasure to just summon an Elfnote Power Patron from your deck. So if you don't want to play Meteos, you can do that. You can also play the Field Spell, which gives you easier Varuras access, which I also forgot to mention. If you do the line where you go Nervado into Nerva into Junordo, Junora, if they defend both these pushes, but you still have these bodies, you can overlay them for Varuras because they're at level 10. And then you can do something with Varuras, or you can shuffle them all back for the Vidrium. This shuffles back. This can be summoned by shuffling back a Fusion Synchro or Xyz monster. And on summon it is unaffected, it has 5,000, and it banishes both graveyards face down. So that's a very powerful push. And noteworthy, if you don't have Varuras, you can also play this card, Sky Palace Gangaridai. It's 2 level 10 monsters and it's a pop. So if you just want to do this line into the 5,000 beater, you can just overlay, do this, pop a card, and then shuffle it back. So that is another thing you can do. Of course, if you play the Zigrido over the Meteos, you want to cut the Hyperlibrarian because you can't make it, and you play the corresponding Power Patron monster, which is the Jupiter. So that would be one change you can make if you don't want to play Meteos. Another thing is if you don't want to play Psychic End Punisher, you can play Duration. Duration is the go first option, and Punisher is the go second option. I like the go second option more because rarely I want to make an 11 going first, and if I do, I usually send it away with Welcome Home or Rhapsodia anyway. So another thing you can do is obviously play another Strelitzia if you want to, or one thing to note is that Fabled Levilazable is, I think, 10-ish euros. So if you don't want to spend that money, you can just cut it for Chengying, which is a common as of right now. They are not far behind of each other. I just like Levilazable a tad bit more because of the interaction with Cool Tune, where you steal the body and negate it, non-targeting. But Chengying is also a house, so you won't lose that much by swapping these two. Then for the extra, anything else? Nope. Yeah, so this would be what I would recommend if you are going budget but want to be as close to a competent list as possible. Now, for the last suggestion, I wanted to do a bit of an experimental build. This is something that I'm trying in Master Duel right now, and this is Kashtira Elfnote. In Master Duel, we don't have the Power Patrons, and that means that we also don't have Albaz. That means we lack a push. And the Kashtiras are actually good at pushing. What's also nice is they are free special summonable level 7 monsters that replace themselves. So one line you can do is if you have Fenrir and Elfnote Power Patron or Tinia, in a special Fenrir, grab Unicorn, then you special one of these, get your Patron on the board. Your board will be Fenrir and the Elfnote Power Patron. Then you can make Omega, grab your Lucina, Omega, rip a card from the hand, it leaves the field, so now the field is free to make Kashtira Unicorn. Unicorn grab Birth, Birth can bring Fenrir back, and then you also have Elfnote combo off top of that. So that is one line you can go, and the other way around, Unicorn is just special Unicorn. Grab the Birth, summon the Elfnote Power Patron, do Elfnote stuff, then birth the Unicorn back. The extra deck here is actually very flexible because you don't have to account for Albaz, you don't have to account for Power Patrons, so you can do things like play a Shooting Riser Dragon, which is nice for another Fuva line for Lucina. You summon Lucina, they Fuva you. You grab the Alpha Power Patron, you summon it, and then you just make the Riser Dragon. This grabs you Fortuna. Fortuna specials gets the Rhapsody of Madness, and the Psychic, the Shooting Riser Dragon sends you a Regina. So in the opponent's turn, you can Rhapsody of Madness, summon Regina back, and then you have that plus a quick synchro and just giving one draw. You also have space for a Croc, you have space for a Typhon, which is good in hand trap deck, and Lahamo, I'm trying, maybe it's a new card and it works with high level monsters, so maybe it's good with the Kashtiras, but you can also just play IP Masquerena. As for a Medius replacement here, Medius here is a bit harder to replace because we don't have the Power Patrons, but you can definitely just play a second Fairy so that you have 2 targets for Terminus. And yeah, but I would probably play Medius in this list if you are on the Power Patron cards. Another option you can have is just play another Elfnote Power Patron because you want to draw this with a Fenrir or not. And you can also play Shangri-Ira because what's really funny in the mirror is if you somehow get to block a zone, you can block the middle zone in the mirror, and then that's game kind of, unless they also are on the Kashtira build, of course. But yeah, that is my 3 ways to play this on a budget. Let me know what you think. If you want to discuss these further or have some other concerns about the price of some cards, you can join the Discord and just ask me directly. But until then, I'll see you next time.